we will see how certain substances are classified as the Lewis acids or Lewis bases, and in order to classify them as a Lewis acid or Lewis base, there are certain steps, and we will follow those steps in order to understand this concept. For example, you have a reaction in which chloride ion reacts with aluminium trichloride to form trichloroaluminate. Now, first of all, what would you do? You will first draw electronic structure for both the species. You know that in the chlorine atom, there are 7 electrons in its valence shell. So, now you may see here that there is a presence of a negative charge on the chloride ion. So that negative charge means that an additional electron is present in the valence shell of the chlorine atom. So that with the presence of that additional electron, the chloride ion has a complete octet. So since there is the presence of an unshared electron pair, more than one unshared electron pairs, and there is the presence of negative charge, therefore this electronic structure suggests that chloride ion is working as a Lewis base here. Now we will draw electronic structure for aluminum trichloride. You know that there are 3 valence electrons in the outer shell of the aluminium atom. So aluminium atom is using its 3 electron to share with the chlorine. Similarly, this valence shell electron will also be shared with another chlorine atom, and this valence electron will be shared with another chlorine atom. Now you will see that after sharing, the number of electron in the valence shell of the aluminium atom has become 6. Now this shell still is deficient of 2 electrons in order to complete its octet. So after drawing electronic structure, we came to know that aluminium in the aluminium trichloride is an electron deficient molecule, because there are 6 electrons present in its valence shell after sharing of electrons, and it still needs 2 more electrons to complete its octet. So in the first step, you drew the electronic structure for both species. In the second step, you will look for a species with a lone pair of electron or a negative charge. And when we drew the electronic structure for this species, you must have observed that chloride ion had more than one electron pairs in it, and it also has a negative charge. So therefore, those species that have the negative charge or have more than one lone pair of electron are working as a Lewis base here. Similarly, after drawing the electronic structure, you have to look for a species that has an incomplete octet, and that species is that of the Lewis acid. And in aluminium trichloride, you observed that there were 6 electrons in the valence shell of the aluminium atom after sharing electron with the chlorine atom. So therefore, it's still deficient of 2 more electrons. Therefore, this aluminium trichloride will work as a Lewis acid here. So in this reaction, chloride ion is a Lewis base, aluminium trichloride is a Lewis acid, and there is the formation of a coordinate covalent bond between the Lewis acid and the Lewis base. And this coordinate covalent bond will be represented like this: Cl donating its electron pair to aluminium trichloride with a negative charge in the whole adduct molecule. Now take another example in which hydroxide ion reacts with hydrogen ion to form water molecule. Now you will draw the electronic structure for each of the species. Oxygen का क्या होता है? Now see here that we will first draw the valence shell of oxygen atom. In this hydroxide ion, there is a negative charge on oxygen atom, so there will be the presence of an additional electron on the oxygen atom. In a neutral oxygen atom, how many electrons are there in the valence shell? 6 electrons. But when there is a negative charge on the oxygen atom, this means that there is an additional electron. So we are writing 7 electrons in the valence shell for oxygen atom in case of hydroxide ion. Now, this 7th electron will be shared with the hydrogen atom to form a covalent bond. So in this case, in the hydroxide ion, there is the complete octet of the oxygen valence shell. Now, since there is a presence of negative charge and there is a complete octet in the a complete octet of the oxygen atom, therefore hydroxide ion will work as a Lewis base here because it is able to donate its lone pair of electrons. Now, if we draw the electronic structure of hydrogen atom, then you know that it don't have any electron. So what will the oxygen do? It will will donate its electron pair to the hydrogen ion to form a coordinate covalent bond with that hydrogen ion. So this means that this hydrogen ion is working as a Lewis acid here because it is accepting an electron pair from the oxygen atom. So this is how certain substances are identified as a Lewis acid or a Lewis base in a certain reaction. This is all for today. We will do certain activities related to this concept in our tomorrow's lecture. Thank you for being with me.